What if I told you your name holds a secret blueprint of your destiny? Could the letters of your name, the very sounds you respond to every single day, influence your life path, your personality, and even the opportunities that come your way? This might sound like something out of a fantasy novel, but across millennia, from the sacred texts of mystics to the analytical studies of modern psychologists, humanity has been fascinated by the profound power encoded within our names. We often think of a name as a simple identifier, a convenient label to distinguish one person from another in a crowded room or a long list of contacts. It's what we write at the top of our exams, what we introduce ourselves with at a party, and what appears on our birth certificate. But this perspective, while practical, barely scratches the surface of a much deeper, more intricate reality. The truth is, your name is one of the most powerful and persistent vibrations connected to your identity. It's a word you hear thousands, if not millions, of times throughout your life, and each utterance reinforces a specific energetic frequency that is uniquely yours. It's a mantra spoken over you by your parents, your friends, your teachers, and your colleagues. This video is a journey into that hidden world. We are going to explore the idea that your name is not a random assignment, but a vessel carrying immense cultural, spiritual, and psychological significance. We will venture into the ancient traditions of Kabbalah, which views the letters of a name as conduits of divine energy, and the mathematical precision of numerology, which translates those letters into numbers that reveal a life's purpose. We'll also touch upon modern psychology, which has uncovered fascinating links between our names and our self-perception, our choices, and how others see us. This isn't about rigid fortune-telling. It's about unlocking a new layer of self-awareness. It's about understanding the subtle, and sometimes not so subtle, forces that have been shaping your identity from the moment you were named. So, how do we begin to unpack this intricate tapestry woven from letters and sounds? We start by acknowledging that a name is the first gift, the first story, and the first piece of identity we are given. It's a bridge connecting us to our past and a signpost pointing toward our future. Think about the sheer weight of it. Before you could walk, talk, or even form a coherent thought, you had a name. This name was likely chosen with care, imbued with the hopes, dreams, and heritage of your parents. It might be the name of a beloved grandparent, carrying a legacy of love and respect. It could be a name from a sacred text, intended to bestow a blessing or a moral compass. Or perhaps it was chosen for its beautiful sound, its unique spelling, or its connection to a character in a story that inspired your family. Regardless of its origin, that name became the foundational stone upon which your sense of self was built. We will delve into how these origins create an energetic inheritance. We'll explore the Kabbalistic concept of the soul print, the idea that the specific combination of letters in your name forms a unique spiritual signature that influences your innate talents, your challenges, and your ultimate potential. We'll examine how numerology, a system that dates back to ancient Greece, offers a practical method for decoding this signature, assigning a numerical value to each letter to reveal a life path number or destiny number. This isn't about being confined by a predetermined fate. Instead, think of it as being handed a map. The map doesn't force you to take a certain path, but it shows you the terrain, the mountains you may have to climb, the rivers you can use for transport, and the fertile valleys where you can build and grow. Understanding your name is about learning to read your personal map. As we go on this journey together, I want you to be an active participant. Let's start right now. Before we dive deeper, take a moment and think about your own name. What's the first feeling or thought that comes to mind? Is it pride, indifference, connection, or maybe even a slight disconnect? Head down to the comments and share that first impression. There are no right or wrong answers, and your story is a vital part of this exploration. Let's journey into the mystical heart of our subject, where names are not mere words, but powerful, energetic codes. One of the most profound traditions that explores this is Kabbalah, an esoteric school of thought in Jewish mysticism. In Kabbalistic teachings, the universe itself is said to have been created through divine speech, through the utterance of sacred letters. The Hebrew alphabet, with its 22 letters, is not seen as a simple collection of symbols for communication. Each letter is considered a fundamental force of creation, a channel for a specific kind of divine energy. When these letters are combined to form a name, they are believed to create a unique vibrational frequency, a soul print that is intricately linked to an individual's spiritual essence and purpose. Think of it like a musical chord. A single note has its own frequency, its own character. But when you combine several notes, you create a chord, a complex, resonant harmony with a unique emotional and energetic impact. Your name is your personal soul chord. The specific letters, their order, and their interplay create a vibration that you carry with you throughout your life. This vibration is said to influence your innate characteristics, your spiritual challenges, and the unique gifts you are meant to bring into the world. It's a concept that elevates a name from a social tag to a spiritual reality, a direct link between the individual soul and the creative forces of the universe. It suggests that your parents, whether they knew it or not, were participating in a sacred act of channeling when they named you, intuitively selecting the very vibrational signature that your soul needed for its journey on Earth. This is why, in some spiritual traditions, receiving a new name upon initiation signifies a profound shift in consciousness, a spiritual rebirth, and an alignment with a new, higher purpose. It's an acknowledgement that a change in vibration can fundamentally alter one's path. To understand this more deeply, we can look at the Kabbalistic tree of life, a diagram representing the map of creation and the path to spiritual enlightenment. The tree is composed of 10 spheres, or sephirot, each representing a different divine attribute, such as wisdom, understanding, mercy, and power. The 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are seen as the pathways connecting these spheres. According to some interpretations, the letters of a person's name can be mapped onto this tree, revealing their inherent spiritual archetypes and the primary life lessons they are here to master. For example, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph, represents the silent, unmanifested source of all creation, the oneness of the divine. A name beginning with Aleph might suggest a soul with a deep, intrinsic connection to unity and spiritual leadership. The 10th letter, Yod, is considered the foundational spark of divine energy in all of creation. It represents a point of concentrated potential, the divine spark within. A name containing a prominent Yod might indicate a person with immense creative potential, someone who is here to bring new ideas and forms into a tangible reality. This framework provides a rich, symbolic language for understanding the soul's blueprint. It transforms your name from a static label into a dynamic, living formula that describes your spiritual DNA. It's a tool for introspection, helping you to understand why you might be drawn to certain activities, why you face recurring challenges, and what your deepest, most authentic strengths truly are. It posits that your purpose isn't something you have to find out there, but something that is already encoded within you, waiting to be activated and expressed. Your name, in this light, becomes a constant, subtle reminder of this inner potential. This concept of a vibrational shift isn't just confined to ancient mysticism. We see powerful, practical examples of it in our modern world, particularly with public figures who strategically change their names to align with a new identity and career path. A classic and compelling example is the transformation of Stefani Germanotta into the global phenomenon known as Lady Gaga. Stefani Germanotta is a beautiful name, grounded and traditional, carrying the weight of her family lineage. Its numerological vibration speaks of creativity, family, and responsibility. However, the name Lady Gaga carries an entirely different energetic frequency. It's bold, eccentric, theatrical, and unforgettable. The sound itself, the regal lady juxtaposed with the playful, almost primal Gaga, perfectly encapsulates the artistic persona she wanted to project, a blend of high art and pop culture subversion. This wasn't merely a marketing ploy. It was a profound, energetic realignment. By adopting this new name, she gave herself permission to step into a larger-than-life character, to shed any preconceived limitations, and to embrace a creative identity that was explosive and boundary-pushing. The name Lady Gaga became her new mantra, a vibrational key that unlocked a specific type of creative genius and public persona that might have remained dormant under her birth name. The world responded to this new vibration, and it catapulted her to superstardom. We see this with many others. Archibald Leach became the debonair Cary Grant. Farrah Bulsara became the iconic Freddie Mercury. In each case, the chosen name was a better vibrational match for the destiny they wished to create. They didn't just change what people called them. They changed the energetic signal they were broadcasting to the universe, and in turn, aligned themselves with a reality that matched that new, powerful frequency. So what does this mean for you? You don't have to be a celebrity to feel the vibrational impact of your name. Consider the different versions of your own name. How does it feel to be called by your full, formal name, perhaps used by a parent or an official? It often carries a sense of seriousness, history, and even authority. Now, think about a nickname given to you by close friends. It likely feels warmer, more intimate, and more relaxed. Each version carries a distinct energetic flavor and invokes a different aspect of your personality. This is a small-scale, everyday example of the same principle. The spiritual identity encoded in your name is the full composition, the complete soul chord, but the different ways it is played, shortened, lengthened, or altered, can bring out different notes and harmonies. The idea of a soul print suggests that your name is a fundamental aspect of your spiritual toolkit. It's not a cage that defines you, but a key that can unlock doors to deeper self-understanding. It invites you to listen, not just with your ears, but with your intuition, to the sound of your own name. What feelings does it stir? What qualities does it seem to evoke in you and in others? By viewing your name through this spiritual lens, as a unique vibrational code, you begin to see it not just as what you are called, but as a call to action from your own soul, a perpetual invitation to step into the fullness of the purpose that is encoded within you. It's a profound shift in perspective, moving from passive recipient to active participant in the unfolding story of your life, a story that was first written in the sacred letters of your name. Beyond the individual soul's vibration, our names serve as powerful, living bridges to our collective human story, connecting us directly to our lineage and legacy. Many of us carry a surname, a family name that has been passed down through generations, acting as a thread in a vast ancestral tapestry. This name is often the most direct link we have to the people who came before us, their struggles, their triumphs, their migrations, and their identities. Consider the patronymic and matronymic systems found in cultures all over the world. A name like O'Brien in Ireland literally means descendant of Brian, immediately connecting the bearer to a specific clan and its chieftain, Brian Boru. Similarly, Scandinavian names ending in son or daughter, like Eriksson, son of Eric, or Bjarnadottir, daughter of Bjarni, create a direct, two-generation link to one's parentage. These names are not just labels. They are genealogical statements. They tell a story of kinship and belonging, anchoring an individual within a family tree that stretches back through time. Every time such a name is spoken, it is an echo of the past, a quiet acknowledgement of the chain of lives that led to the present moment. This connection to lineage provides a sense of grounding and identity that is deeply psychological. It reminds us that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a much larger narrative, a river of humanity flowing through time. Our surname is our inheritance, a piece of our ancestors that we carry with us into the future. It's a legacy that we are tasked with honoring and, in our own way, adding to for the generations that will follow. This connection to heritage goes far beyond simple family lines. Names are often living artifacts of culture, preserving language, geography, and ancestral stories that might otherwise be lost to time. They are capsules of cultural memory. Think of a name's origin. A surname like Schneider in German or Taylor in English tells you that an ancestor was likely a tailor, giving you a glimpse into the professions and societal structures of the past. A name like Yamamoto in Japan, meaning base of the mountain, paints a picture of a family's geographical roots, tying their identity to a specific landscape. This is beautifully illustrated in many African naming traditions. For example, the Akan people of Ghana and the Ivory Coast have a tradition of naming children after the day of the week on which they were born. A male born on a Saturday is named Kwame, while a female is Amma. This practice does more than just identify the day of birth. It embeds the individual within a cultural and cosmological framework, where each day has associated characteristics and a spiritual significance. The name Kwame, for example, is associated with the divine archetype of the warrior, suggesting innate qualities of leadership and resilience. In this context, a name is a story of one's place in the cosmos from the moment of birth. It preserves a worldview, a connection to time, and a set of shared cultural values. In this way, our names are not just our own. They belong to our culture, our language, and our land. They are a testament to the enduring power of a people's story, whispered from one generation to the next. With this ancestral and cultural inheritance comes the fascinating belief that names can carry an energetic legacy, the blessings, responsibilities, and sometimes even the unresolved challenges of our ancestors. In many traditions, it is believed that when we are given a family name, we're not just inheriting a word, but also a subtle, energetic field that has been built up over generations. This can manifest as a blessing. If your lineage is filled with innovators, leaders, or healers, your family name might carry an energetic momentum that supports you in those same endeavors. You might find you have a natural aptitude for leadership or a deep-seated desire to care for others, not just because of genetics, but because you are tuned into the resonant frequency of your ancestral line. Conversely, this inheritance can also include responsibilities or energetic debts. If a lineage has a history of unresolved trauma or conflict, that energy can persist, and descendants may feel an unconscious pull to heal or resolve these old patterns. This doesn't mean you're doomed to repeat the past, but rather that you may be given the opportunity to be a point of transformation for your entire family line. By bringing awareness, compassion, and conscious choice to your life, you can heal not only yourself, but also the energetic patterns of the past, freeing future generations. This perspective imbues our lives with a profound sense of purpose. Our personal journey of growth and healing is not just for us. It is a gift we give back to our ancestors and forward to our descendants. Our name becomes a sacred trust, a responsibility to live with integrity and to elevate the legacy we have been given. Now, I invite you to become an archaeologist of your own identity. This is a powerful, interactive exercise that can reveal so much. Your task is to research the meaning and origin of your surname. Where does it come from? What language did it originate in? Does it refer to a place, a profession, or an ancestor? You can use genealogical websites, surname dictionaries online, or even talk to the elders in your family. As you uncover this information, pay attention to the stories and feelings that arise. Does the meaning of your name resonate with your personality or your life path in any way? Does learning about its origin give you a new sense of connection to a particular culture or place? Once you've done your research, come back here and share what you found in the comments. Let's create a collective library of ancestral stories. By sharing the meaning of your surname, you're not just sharing a fact. You are breathing life into your heritage and honoring the echo of your ancestors. You might be surprised at the synchronicities you discover and how this simple act of research can deepen your understanding of who you are and where you come from. Your name is a doorway to your past, and the key is in your curiosity. Turn it and see what you find. Now that we've explored the spiritual and ancestral dimensions of our names, let's get practical. How can we actually decode the blueprint hidden within them? Two of the most ancient and widely used systems for this are numerology and gematria. Let's start with numerology, specifically the Pythagorean system, which is the most common in the West. This system is based on the idea that everything in the universe, including names and birth dates, can be reduced to numerical values, and that these numbers carry specific vibrations and meanings. The process is surprisingly straightforward. Each letter of the alphabet is assigned a number from 1 to 9. The system is cyclical. A, J, and S are 1, B, K, and T are 2, C, L, and U are 3, and so on. To find a numerological value of your name, you simply write it out, assign the corresponding number to each letter, and add them all up. If you end up with a double-digit number, except for the master numbers 11, 22, and 33, you continue to add the digits together until you get a single-digit number. This final number is often called your destiny number or expression number. This number is said to reveal your overall purpose, your natural talents, and the potential you are meant to express in this lifetime. For example, a person with a destiny number of 1 is often a natural leader, independent, and pioneering. A number 5 is adventurous, freedom-loving, and a master of change. A number 6 is a nurturer, responsible, and community-oriented. This isn't about boxing you in. It's about identifying your core, energetic frequency so you can work with it consciously. It's a powerful tool for self-reflection that can validate your innate feelings and guide you toward a life path that feels most authentic and fulfilling. A related but distinct and more ancient system is Gematria. This is a Hebrew system of numerology where each of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet is assigned a specific numerical value. Gematria is central to Kabbalistic interpretation of sacred texts, operating on the principle that words and phrases with identical numerical values have a direct, explanatory relationship to one another. For example, the Hebrew word for love, ahava, has a gematria value of 13. The word for one, echad, also has a value of 13. This reveals a deep mystical truth. Love is the force that leads to unity. While traditional gematria is used for interpreting the Torah, its principles can be adapted to explore the spiritual insights hidden in a name. By transliterating the letters of a name into their Hebrew equivalents and calculating their gematria, one can uncover deeper layers of meaning and connection to specific spiritual concepts or archetypes. This method goes beyond personality traits and delves into the soul's core purpose and its relationship with the divine. It's a more complex and nuanced system than basic numerology, but offers profound insights into the spiritual lessons and energies that a name carries. It suggests that the very structure of your name contains a hidden equation, a sacred formula that points toward your unique spiritual journey. Both numerology and gematria are tools that empower us to move beyond the surface-level understanding of our names and engage with them as a source of wisdom and guidance. They provide a structured methodology for translating the symbolic language of letters into the universal language of numbers, revealing the hidden architecture of our own identity. But the analysis doesn't stop at numbers. The very sound of a name carries its own frequency and has a direct psychological and energetic impact. This is the realm of phonetics and sound symbolism. Think about the difference between a name with soft, flowing vowels and liquid consonants like Alina or Leo versus a name with hard, plosive consonants like Kirk or Bridget. Soft-sounding names are often perceived by our brains as gentler, calmer, and more approachable. Hard-sounding names can be perceived as stronger, more grounded, and more assertive. This isn't a judgment of which is better. It's an observation of how different sound frequencies affect our perception and energy. The sound of your name, repeated day after day, creates a resonant field around you. Does your name feel like it grounds you? Or does it feel like it lifts you up? Does it sound sharp and focused, or gentle and expansive? This phonetic energy interacts with a numerological blueprint to create your full energetic signature. Let's do a quick case study. Compare the names Anne and Alexander. Anne is short, simple, and direct. Its numerology is 1 + 5 + 5 is equal to 11. 11 is a master number, indicating high spiritual potential, intuition, and a path that involves inspiring others. The sound is open and definitive. Now, consider Alexander. It's long, complex, and regal. Its numerology is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9 is equal to 39, which reduces to 3 plus 9 is equal to 12, and then 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. The number 3 represents creativity, communication, and self-expression. The sound of the name itself, with its varied syllables and strong X, and our sounds, feels powerful and dynamic. While N's name points to a focused, intuitive path of inspiration, Alexander's points to a broad, creative, and communicative path. Neither is superior, but they describe vastly different energetic terrains and life purposes, all decoded from the letters and sounds themselves. There's a beautiful anonymous quote that perfectly captures the essence of what we've been exploring. A name is not just a sound. It's a legacy, a compass, and sometimes a shield. Let's unpack that. We've already touched upon the legacy, the ancestral and cultural heritage our names carry. But what about the compass and the shield? A name acts as a compass when it actively guides our actions and inspires us to live up to its meaning or the values of a namesake. Think of the millions of people throughout history named after religious figures like Mary, Muhammad, David, or Fatima. These names are not just identifiers. They're a constant, subtle reminder of a moral or spiritual ideal. The name itself becomes a compass pointing toward virtues like compassion, faith, courage, or piety. It can serve as an internal guidepost, especially in moments of difficulty or moral choice. The question, am I living in a way that honors my name, can be a powerful motivator for personal integrity. This isn't limited to religious names. Naming a child Victoria might be an aspiration for them to lead a victorious life. Naming them Solomon might be a hope for them to possess great wisdom. In this way, a name becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, not through magic, but through the powerful psychological principle of inspiration. It gives us a direction, a North Star to navigate by, encoded in the very word we call ourselves. The name as a shield is perhaps its most powerful and resilient function. In times of adversity, oppression, or when one's identity is under attack, a name can become a symbol of defiance, survival, and unbreakable cultural pride. It becomes a shield that protects one's core identity. Consider the life of Malala Yousafzai. Her first name, Malala, was given to her by her father in honor of Malalai of Maiwand, a famous Pashtun poetess and warrior woman from southern Afghanistan who rallied local fighters against British troops in 1880. Malalai became a martyr, but her name became a symbol of courage and patriotic defiance. By giving his daughter this name, Jauddin Yousafzai was bestowing upon her a legacy of bravery. When the Taliban tried to silence her, Malala, true to her name's spirit, refused to be silenced. Her name, already a symbol of courage, became globally synonymous with the fight for education and human rights. It became a shield, not just for her, but for millions of girls worldwide. Similarly, the name Gandhi no longer just refers to a man. It has become a global symbol for nonviolent resistance. The name itself is a shield against the philosophy of violence, a banner under which movements for peace and justice can rally. When a name becomes so intrinsically tied to a powerful purpose, it transcends the individual and becomes a legacy for all of humanity. It demonstrates that a name, when aligned with profound action, can be one of the most powerful forces for change in the world. Now, I want you to take a moment for personal reflection. This isn't about research, but about feeling. Think of someone you know, either personally or a public figure you admire, whose name feels absolutely, perfectly suited to them. Someone whose name seems to be an extension of their very essence, their personality, and their purpose. It could be a friend named Grace, who moves through the world with elegance and kindness. It could be an artist whose unique, creative name seems to perfectly match their innovative work. It could be a leader whose strong, resonant name seems to command respect. Why does that name feel so right for that person? What is it about the sound, the meaning, or the feeling of a name that seems to be in perfect harmony with who they are. Take a moment to really consider this. This exercise helps us attune our intuition to the subtle energies of names. It trains us to see beyond the surface and recognize the deep coherence that can exist between a name and a soul's expression. By observing this harmony in others, we can begin to cultivate a deeper appreciation for the potential harmony within our own name and our own life path. Feel free to share your examples in the comments. It's always inspiring to see these connections recognized. We have journeyed through the mystical, the historical, and the practical. We have treated the name as an object of study, but the true power of this knowledge comes not from passive understanding, but from active engagement. The final step is to turn this exploration inward and make it a living experiment. Your name is not a static museum piece. It is a dynamic, energetic force in your daily life. So, my call to action for you is this. For the next week, I invite you to consciously experiment with your own name and observe the results. This is about playing with the vibrational frequencies you identify with and noticing how subtle shifts can create real changes in your emotional state and even how others interact with you. Start by identifying all the different versions of your name. Your full legal name, your common first name, any middle names you use, and any nicknames you've had throughout your life, both positive and negative. Write them down. For the first 2 days, make a conscious effort to introduce yourself and think of yourself using your full, formal name. Write it at the top of your journal pages. When you look in the mirror, say your full name to yourself. Notice how it feels. Does it feel more serious, more powerful, more distant, or more grounded? Pay attention to your posture and your internal dialogue when you embody this version of your name. For the next 2 days of the experiment, switch to the most common, casual version of your name or a favorite nickname that feels positive and empowering. If you don't have one, you can even create one for the purpose of this experiment. Use this name exclusively. If you're comfortable, ask a close friend or partner to call you by this name for a couple of days. How does this shift your energy? Do you feel lighter, more playful, more creative, or more approachable? Does it change the tone of your interactions? The goal here is to gather data on your own subjective experience. You're the scientist in the laboratory of your own life. There is no right or wrong feeling. There is only awareness. This simple act of consciously choosing which name frequency to tune into can reveal which aspects of your personality you are most comfortable with and which you might want to explore further. It's a powerful, practical way to experience the theories we've been discussing. You might discover that your formal name connects you to a sense of purpose and discipline that you need when working on an important project. You might find that a shortened, softer version of your name helps you to be more open and emotionally available in your relationships. This is not about permanently changing your name, unless you feel called to do so. It's about recognizing that you have a whole keyboard of energetic notes available to you, not just a single one. Finally, for the last part of the week, I want you to engage in a process of integration and claiming. Sit with the list of all your names and the feelings you've gathered. Which name feels the most you right now in this phase of your life? Which one feels like the most authentic expression of who you are and who you are becoming? This is about conscious ownership. Very often, we are passive recipients of our names and the identities attached to them. This exercise is about actively choosing your identity. You can do this through a small, private ritual. Write the name that feels most aligned with your soul's purpose on a piece of paper. You can light a candle, hold the paper to your heart, and say aloud, "I am your chosen name, and I claim the full power, potential, and purpose encoded within this name. I am ready to embody its highest expression." This simple, intentional act can create a profound psychological and energetic shift. It's a declaration to yourself and to the universe that you are no longer just being called a name. You're consciously calling yourself into being. It's the ultimate act of self-creation, turning your name from a given label into a chosen mantle of power. Take this experiment seriously, but also with a sense of play and curiosity. The insights you gain will be uniquely your own and can be a catalyst for significant personal growth. As we draw this journey to a close, let's take a moment to look back at the path we've traveled. We began with a simple question: could your name hold a secret blueprint to your destiny? We've since discovered that this is not a simple yes or no question. Instead, we've uncovered a rich tapestry of perspectives that illuminate the profound significance of our names. We explored the mystical view of names as energetic codes, unique vibrational signatures, or soul prints, as taught in traditions like Kabbalah. We saw how the very letters of our names can be seen as conduits for divine energy, shaping our innate talents and life challenges. This perspective invites us to listen to the soul's music that our name represents, a melody that plays softly in the background of our entire lives, guiding us toward our authentic purpose. We learned that every time our name is spoken, it's a reinforcement of this unique frequency, a constant tuning of our personal energy field. Understanding this allows us to engage with our name not as a random label, but as a sacred tool for spiritual alignment and self-realization. It's a fundamental part of our spiritual toolkit, a key to unlocking our highest potential. We then journeyed back in time, viewing our names as ancestral bridges that connect us to a vast lineage of history, culture, and family. We saw how a surname can tell a story of a profession, a geographical location, or a heroic ancestor, grounding us in a narrative much larger than our own individual lives. Through names like O'Brien or Kwame, we recognize that our names are living artifacts, preserving language, tradition, and a collective worldview. This exploration revealed the idea of an energetic inheritance, that our names carry the blessings and responsibilities of our lineage. This realization imbues our personal journey with a deeper meaning. Our growth and healing are not just for ourselves, but are acts of service to both our ancestors and our descendants. Our name becomes a sacred trust, a legacy that we are asked to honor, protect, and elevate through the way we live our lives. It is a constant reminder that we are not isolated islands, but vital links in the great, unbroken chain of humanity, with a unique role to play in its continuing story. Finally, we equipped ourselves with practical tools for self-discovery, turning theory into actionable practice. We delved into the systems of numerology and gematria, learning how to translate the letters of our names into numbers to reveal our destiny number and deeper spiritual insights. We analyzed the very sound and phonetic quality of name, understanding how different frequencies can influence our energy and perception. The case study of Versus Alexander highlighted how these tools can reveal vastly different life paths and energetic terrains encoded within a name. And most importantly, we were called to become active participants in our own story through experimentation, by consciously using different versions of our name to observe the shifts in our own feelings and interactions. This entire exploration, from the spiritual to the ancestral to the practical, converges on one powerful, central idea. Your name is far more than what people call you. It is a compass, a legacy, a shield, and a key. And so, we arrive at our final thought, the core takeaway from our time together. Your name isn't just what you're called. It's a key to understanding who you are meant to become. It is not a rigid destiny carved in stone, but a living, breathing map handed to you at birth. It shows you the landscape of your potential, the rivers of your strengths, and the mountains of your challenges. The map doesn't walk the path for you, but it offers invaluable wisdom for the journey. By learning to read it through numerology, through ancestral research, through spiritual intuition, and through conscious experimentation, you empower yourself to navigate your life with greater awareness, purpose, and authenticity. You begin to work with the inherent energies of your name, rather than being unconsciously driven by them. So I encourage you, don't let this just be an interesting video you watched. Let it be the beginning of a new conversation with the most personal and powerful word in your life, your own name. Listen to it, explore it, honor it, and use it as the key it was always meant to be. I hope this deep dive has opened up a new world of perspective for you. The journey to self-discovery is endless, and your name is one of the most powerful gateways. If you enjoyed this exploration and want more content that delves into spirituality, self-discovery, and the hidden patterns of our universe, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us create more content like this for you. Now, I want to hear from you. The conversation doesn't end here. Go to the comments and answer this. What does your name mean to you now? Has your perspective shifted after watching this? Share your insights, your name's numerology, or the story of your surname. And if you know someone who would find this fascinating, tag them or share this video. Let's build a community of explorers.